Hey guys, what's going on? And today we're just going to be recapping what happened in the qualifiers for the Saltmine, kind of get you guys up to speed with just who's in it, all right, who qualified. We're just going to quickly, go over just everybody who's in it, maybe give a brief description about how they qualified and stuff like that for NA and EU, just give you guys the basic rundown, and then we'll probably do predictions in another video. So as always, if you guys do enjoy, if you enjoy the content, make sure to hit subscribe so I'll keep making the content. And yeah, let's get right into the video. So let's start off with North America, who qualified. I'll put up on screen everybody who qualified for the Saltmine. Now I want to quickly brush over the format. So there's 4 qualifiers. The winner of each qualifier goes on to the main event. So since there's 4 qualifiers, there will be 4 people who win through qualifiers. And then also, whoever has the most points out of all the other players will also qualify for the Saltmine. So what that means is, even if you never win one of the qualifiers, as long as you keep consistently placing in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, then you'll rack up enough points to make it to the Saltmine. Yeah, let's get right into it. So qualifier number 1, we have the one who qualified, obviously Firstkiller. I mean, he's probably the best 1v1 player in North America right now, and he is the favorite to take this tournament, all right? Firstkiller was beating players like Kingsay, like LionBlaze. Okay, we've seen him do it before, and you know what? He's probably going to be the guy that everyone's looking to beat going into this. Firstkiller is such a solid, consistent player in North America, it's no surprise that he made it. And then the winner of Qualifier 2 was Mile, and Mile's been just such a really big upcoming ones player in North America recently. He's consistently in the top of the top 100. All right, we saw him play with G2 during the Fusion tournament, but Mile, just one of the best ones players in North America as of recently, just been playing absolutely out of his mind in just all the matches we've seen from him, and I expect a lot of good things from him as well. Then the one who got out of qualifier 3 was AJ, and I was actually kind of surprised when I was looking through this. I heavily expected LionBlaze to take it over AJ, just because LionBlaze, I feel like he has more 1v1 experience than AJ, but AJ with a very close win over LionBlaze. I mean, those matches were pretty close, that they had all 1-goal games, every single game that they had, very high scoring as well. AJ was playing out of his mind, and if AJ could play like that during the Saltmine qualifiers, he could definitely be a contender for top 4, even top 2. I think with AJ, it's going to come down to playing consistently as well, because this was, in my opinion, the best I've seen AJ play in 1v1s, besides a couple really good performances on Johnny Boy's stream. But this is the best performance I've seen from him in a competitive setting, like a tournament setting. So if he can continue to carry on this momentum over to the finals, to the final bracket, then, I mean, AJ is looking to be in a really good spot. Then qualifier number 4 for North America, we had, who qualified, MagicBear, and no surprise, MagicBear has been another just insanely fast, hot, upcoming 1v1 player in North America. We saw him just obliterate opponents in the Fusion tournament that Johnny Boy hosted. As you guys remember, we were going to get a MagicBear versus Firstkiller semifinals in the Fusion tournament, and everyone was excited for it, where MagicBear ended up disconnecting and someone else had to stand in from him. So hopefully MagicBear will be playing against Firstkiller in this tournament. I think that would be awesome. I think it goes without saying that MagicBear is probably one of the top 3 1v1 players in North America right now, just as of recent performances. At least that's what I believe. I believe MagicBear to be just a crazy good ones player, and I think that if anyone wants to take down Firstkiller, MagicBear is one of the few who definitely has the potential to do that. Now let's get into the players who didn't qualify per se, but they got in through just having enough points. So number 1 was LionBlaze, and of course LionBlaze, he consistently finished in top placement. I think he had 2 grand final placements. LionBlaze, he's been in the 1v1 scene for a while. We've known him to be a top ones player in North America for the longest time now, and he still is at the top of his game, and can't wait to see him play. Then next up we have Kingsay, and man, this guy's mechanics are insane. Of course, no surprise that he qualified either. We saw him in the Fusion tournament, we saw him in the 1s, and even in the 2v2s. and in the 3v3s just being that guy to pull off just some insane mechanical plays. I mean, whenever this man touches the ball, you never know what's going to happen next. I really love how he plays. Very North American play style, very mechanical, and he's very good at ones, because of his, his mechanics are able to just get him goals in situations you don't think are possible. Then next I want to talk about Shareef and J-Bot. Now, am I pronouncing Shareef's name right? Shareef? As you guys know, I'm absolutely atrocious when it comes to pronouncing names. Even though I know for a fact I've heard his name before, I just can't remember. Shareef and J-Bot definitely don't have the same, accolades that some of these other players do, but they're still very, very good, in terms of 3v3s, placing very well in the play-ins for Rival Series, the Spring Series qualifiers, they both making it very far in those. These players are very good at threes, but they're even better at ones. I'd say that these two guys are definitely the underdogs going into the Saltmine 2. However, maybe they're outclassed in terms of experience and tournaments in the past, but as we've seen in the past, we've had players like apparently Jack upset Jory's in the Fusion tournament. It could always happen. These guys, if they're on their game that day, they could definitely take an upset. I'm definitely gonna be watching them closely. And yeah, that should be everything for North America. Okay, now we get into Europe, and let's go over the qualifier number 1. And of course, Okhalid is the first one to qualify. I mean, Okhalid versus Jory's was the finals of qualifier 1, and I mean, it makes sense. These are probably the 2 best 1v1 players in the world right now, at least in my opinion. I think everyone would say that Okhalid is number 1. He's easily going to be the favorite to take it, getting through qualifier 1 with ease. Then we get on to qualifier 2, where Dead Monster ends up qualifying. And I gotta be honest, I actually was not expecting Dead Monster to win this, with players like Astral and Scrubkilla and apparently Jack. We've seen great things from all these players. Exotic. I didn't think that I'd see Dead Monster make it through the whole bracket, but he did. He played just insanely well. I mean, and against some very, very good ones players, alright? I would just like to point out that, in my opinion, one of the funniest things about this is that in the grand finals of qualifier 2, Dead Monster played up against apparently Jack, and apparently Jack and Dead Monster were teammates back in the Fusion tournament, where apparently Jack, they had play their 1v1s because of apparently Jack is the better ones player. However, Dead Monster took it over apparently Jack, so I thought that was very interesting. So, it might show that these ones players are a lot closer than we originally thought. Maybe Dead Monster and apparently Jack, the skill gap between them is not as far as maybe we originally thought. The skill gap between Dead Monster and a lot of these other players, because, he beat Astral, Dead Monster beat Rezi, okay? He beat a lot of really good, ones players with big names. So, it's gonna be very interesting to see what he does from here on out. And then in the qualifier 3, we have Zamwe. Alright, for those of you who don't know, Zamwe is a Rival Series player. He's very exceptional at 3v3s, and he's very good at 1v1s. And again, just like Dead Monster, Zamwe is someone that we're used to seeing in the 3v3 scene, but maybe not necessarily the 1v1 scene. At least not too often. Okay, going into this, I thought that someone like apparently Jack or Exotic, Scrubkilla, might make, or Astral, of course, might make it through the whole bracket. But no, again, Zamwe coming out playing exceptional in ones. And then in qualifier 4, we have Astral, who I'm not surprised at all made it through. We've seen a lot of good things from Astral in the past, in terms of 1v1. And then let's talk about everyone who qualified for points. So first, of course, we had apparently Jack with 2 grand finals placements. Couldn't close it out, but because he made it there twice, he's the first one to qualify with this points. Then we had Revezi, again, not surprised, another really good ones player. Then 7th, we had Jory's. Again, I talked about this, how a lot of people consider him to be one of the best 1v1 players. Except as of recently, I'd say he's fallen off a little bit, truly. He hasn't had some... He's had some... I'd say some people upset him in some show matches in some of these tournaments, like in the Fusion and during these qualifiers. I'm very interested to look at how Jory's plays during this tournament, just to see, is he still on the top of his game, Will we see another upset like we saw? Apparently Jack beat him in Fusion. You know, gonna be interesting to see. And then we have, and excuse me if I get this wrong, but I think it's pronounced Louis. You know what, I'll be honest, I did not expect him to be the one to make it because, you know, honestly, in the 1v1 scene, we haven't seen a ton from him. Okay, I don't think that there is too much to go off of in recent history. I don't think he has a ton or any Johnny Boy show matches to look at. I don't think he was in any other recent 1v1 tournaments that I could find. So I'm gonna be very interested to see how he plays at the top level of 1v1s. You know, Lewis could be that guy who, you know, maybe he ends up coming in last, but you know, it was a good underdog performance, or he could be that guy that just upsets everyone. You know, we really don't know. I'm gonna be very interested to see how he plays. His first matchup is of course against Okhalid because he was the last seed to come in, you know, but it seems to me that he's just an up-and-coming 1v1 player. But you know what, still probably going to be a good match regardless, and you know what, can't wait to see it. And yeah, that is basically everything. That is pretty much everyone I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys all for watching. Obviously, if you guys do enjoy, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.